Hi there, folks. I'm Jay Bird Martin, Martin Brothers Wild Game Calls, and the channel Hunting and Such with the Martin Brothers. We recently came into possession of an old tape that we happened to make back in 2004. I used to have a copy. I don't know whatever did happen to it. But a good friend of ours from Oklahoma that we visited recently on a hunt, he had a copy of it and was nice enough to give it to us. And for me to upload, and new generation of turkey hunters can watch. I think you'll appreciate it. Now keep in mind, this is an older tape, actually a tape, like a VHS tape. And for you young ones that might not know, that's like the grandfather to the Blu-ray disc. It's old, and some of this footage, because the tape itself, is old. It's a little grainy. But the content's good, so I think you'll enjoy it. Thanks for watching.
Okay, this is J.D. Peck Martin from Martin Brothers Wild Game Calls, located here in the northern panhandle of West Virginia in a little town called McMacken. I've lived here all my life and kind of grew up here along the Ohio River and got interested in making turkey calls in 1988. Went to the NWTF convention in Atlanta and actually entered a turkey that I mounted in their first ever taxidermy competition for turkeys. And I got really inspired while attending the convention and couldn't wait to get back home to make a box call. So that's when I got my start. It was 1988, and actually been in the call making business as far as Martin Brothers Wild Game Calls, featuring Garber's Choice Turkey Calls since about 1992. So we've been at it about 12 years, and we think we're doing pretty good with it. And it's kind of like just being able to do something in your life that you really enjoy doing, and I certainly enjoy making turkey calls. this is our first attempt at making a turkey hunting video, and it's all these hunts are taken in a fair chase manner. They're taken in the mountains of West Virginia, along the banks of the Ohio River in the state of Ohio. We have a hunt taken in Kentucky around the Mammoth National Caves. Also have one segment that's taken in the western panhandle of Oklahoma, along with a couple of Gould's hunts in the Sierra Madre Mountains in Mexico. So the first part of this video segment, I'd just like to introduce you to a little scouting segment with my brother Mark and a friend Bobby Workman that I work with at the chemical plant where I worked for 20 years. This happened quite a few years ago, but it's kind of something that I think you'll really enjoy. Actually, this scouting segment is something that you don't want to do. So.
I ain't gonna lie.
Hell, I'm down to my knees.
The second episode is on a hen that my son Jay and I called in over in eastern Ohio. She walks up a logging road, she yelps, she clucks, she cuts. Actually, she stops there and preens herself and pulls a feather out. But this might answer some of you folks' questions on how many times should you call, or basically what what a hen sounds like. Okay, the next segment that we're going to talk about is a classic episode of a big gobbler taken in Tyler County, West Virginia. What's so unique about this hunt was the fact that this gobbler reacts to the calls I make on a laminated box call. It was actually the first laminated call that I ever made. So when I make the calls on the box call, the gobbler reacts to it, and my son Jay does just a tremendous job videoing this gobbler. Actually, he was out of my sight for a lot of this segment. I couldn't see it, but I also used a 3.5 Magnum cutter mouth call that we make. So I certainly think you'll enjoy this episode. This gobbler gobbles looking right at the camera, and actually this hunt actually lasted about 30 minutes, but we kind of condensed this one a little bit for you. So sit back, and I certainly hope you enjoy this segment. Okay, the next 4 hunts actually takes place in the state of Ohio. Some of it's in some pretty steep and rugged country along the Ohio River. The first hunt's with my son Jay. It's a real early morning hunt. This bird's real hot off the roost. Actually, it's one of those 10 to 12 minute hunts. He comes in and sees the decoys, reacts to the decoys, and Jay makes a nice shot on him and collects himself a real nice trophy. The second and third hunts in the state of Ohio is I'm the hunter and my son Jay is the video man, the cameraman, and it's a couple of classic hunts where actually the one hunt involves a flock of crows actually tormenting 5 or 6 long-bearded toms. So we kind of condensed this hunt a little bit because it's long in duration, so it's kind of like maybe a 5-minute hunt, but has some real good gobbles and a nice climatic finish. And the fourth hunt actually is with my son Scott and Jay. It's actually in the same woods that I took the big gobbler that actually come in there, and we almost got our logo, the double gobbler logo of Martin Brothers. But Scott does a real nice job of calling. He actually calls in a whole flock of turkeys. There's 4 or 5 big long beards and hens and jakes, and kind of condensed this hunt a little bit too. But this one big gobbler separates himself from the flock and actually makes a beeline to another big gobbler, and Scott, he collected a nice trophy. So sit back and enjoy these 4 episodes. Okay, this next hunt takes place in western Kentucky, actually not too far from the Mammoth National Caves, near a little town called Brownsville. I have a real good friend that lives down there. His name is Mark Kinzer. He's got some fantastic turkey hunting, and I was also hunting with my good friend from Peyton City, West Virginia, Terry Heinzman. This hunt takes place, it's a field hunt. Actually, Terry and Mark scored a double early in the morning, and we went up and took a little lunch break and heard this bird gobbling back in the field, so we kind of looped around and took a position actually a little bit below the bird, and it was kind of a windy day, but this gobbler reacted to the 2.5-inch little lady slate that I was running. Actually, the wind kind of distorts the sound of the call, and one tactic I use that I think is real important sometimes that you folks can try is scratching in the leaves and sound like a turkey's feeding. And this old gobbler come out from behind a big old clump of multiflora rose, and he's actually the biggest bird I ever have taken. He actually weighed in at 26.7 on certified scales, so I think you'll really like this hunt too. Okay, this next segment takes place in our home state of West Virginia. It's actually back in rural Marshall County here where we live, and it's kind of on a farm there for a good friend of ours, Mike Davis. He heard these birds gobble that evening, so he gave me a call and invited us to come out there and see what we could do with them. So my son and Jay and I went out. It was actually the third week of West Virginia's spring gobbler season. The birds have kind of been played with and hammered on, and hunting was getting kind of tough. This was actually one of those real pretty spring mornings, and certainly enjoyed being out there with my son. This bird actually responded to a butternut and walnut box call that we make, and he hit it pretty good, so we went in there and set up on him, put a decoy out, and this bird actually came into where he was probably only 10 yards away, but the foliage, the late season foliage, a lot of multiflora rose prevented me from taking a good clean shot, so I waited. Turkey actually backed off and circled us and come in below us and give me a pretty good 30-yard shot there. So it's a real nice hunt. I hope you enjoy it. I need. Pocket scratch box, one of them little unique calls that you shouldn't leave home without. They're a very good call to use, especially on them gobblers been hammered with all these other calls and on pressured birds, so give them a try. The Gould's hunt in Mexico was probably one of the most memorable hunts I was ever on. The Sierra Madre Mountains in Mexico is some really rough terrain, but it was absolutely beautiful, and certainly glad I was able to hunt down there. I was hunting out of Wing Shooter's Lodge with my good friends Jim Haskett from Ringwood, New Jersey, and Bobby K. Kalajasic from Washington, New Jersey. Jim is quite an accomplished hunter. He has taken a turkey in all 49 states. He owns a A.W. Myers Tool Company in Ridgefield, New Jersey. Bobby K. is a senior sales manager for Bosch Power Tools and has taken the World Slam. The first hunt that I want to show you is the big Gould's gobbler Bobby took. We made a real grueling climb to an elevation of about 7,000 feet, and actually we just got set up and I got the camera all positioned, and this turkey actually run off the mountain right to us. And what's so unique about it is that it yelped when it came in. And if you watch real close, you can see the gobbler's dewbill moving when he's yelping, and Bobby hammers him pretty good, and it was a real quick hunt, and certainly a trophy Bobby will remember for a long time.
Nice bird. One for the camera. Yeah. All right. Nice bird.
Gotta go over here, buddy. Good calling job, huh?
All right.
This is a real nice turkey mount here. Actually, my son Scott mounted this bird yesterday. It's still real green. After you mount them, you have 3 to 5 days to do the grooming work on them. So it's going to look real good, and I'm certainly proud of him for the accomplishments he's made as far as turkey mounting. He's won some ribbons at the NWTF convention for some of his turkey mounts, and one year in Columbus he got the People's Choice Award, which really made us all proud. Martin Brothers taxidermy got started back in the late 60s, and my brother John actually had a full-time shop in the middle 70s up into about the middle of the 80s. And when the plant shut down where we worked, John and I decided to go back into it full-time, and that was around 1990. It was just a couple years after I started making turkey calls. But this next hunt I'd like to talk to you about is an episode that was taken on the windswept plains of Oklahoma. I was hunting with my good friend Tom Laborik from Stillwater. Tom actually grew up in West Virginia. He's also a call maker, custom call maker, and he calls his calls Tommy's Calls. I was also hunting with Earl Mickle, who has authored 2 books on call makers. And Earl's at this time pursuing taking a turkey in all 49 states using a call made in that state. And another friend of mine, Dr. Will White, he's an avid turkey call collector, and he also enjoys turkey hunting. So we had a great time, and the hunt that we're going to show you here is about hunting the Rio Grandes. And my buddy Tom actually run the camera on the first hunt, and he wasn't familiar with it, so some of the footage is a little out of focus, but when the bird comes in and gets real close and I take him, it's pretty clear. So I hope you enjoy that segment. And then the next one's Earl Mickle. Takes a big Rio gobbler to come in strutting, and actually was on a mission to come into the decoys we had set up. So I certainly hope you enjoy both of these segments.
Huh? You got a mouth going in, don't you? There's 2 gobblers, Peck. There's another one.
You gotta relax, man.
Another one just crested the hill.
That's awesome. Good zoom in.
Yeah.
Straight right to my right.
They're down in that dip, ain't they?
Another one foot.
Come on, Peck, but it keeps blurring in and out. Let him keep coming. He's a pretty bastard. Whenever you're ready, Peck.
Yeah, we're Peck Martin and I of Martin Brothers Game Calls. Real professional man, makes a fine call. We're here in western Oklahoma, and we've looked everywhere. Turkeys are just not present. This is the second time I've had Peck out here, and the birds haven't responded. We haven't seen a turkey in 3 days. It's been terrible. I don't know what to do about it. I apologize, Mr. Martin, and I'd like to have you come another day, and maybe we'll find more turkeys, and maybe we'll have some more around here. But right now, I don't know what to say. There's just no turkeys out here.
I certainly hope that you have enjoyed this video production called Fire on the Mountain. We had a good time filming these hunts, and it gave us the opportunity to hunt with some great folks and see some spectacular country across this land we call Americana. And I'd just like to end it by saying be safe and take the time to introduce a child to the outdoors, and always remember, there's an old gobbler out there got his claws wrapped around a limb for the last time. I thank you, and you all take care.